All right, welcome back to Mars Radio. We're here with our next guest out of San Francisco, California. He goes by the name of Nunnz. Nunnz, introduce yourself to our viewers and let them know who you are, where you're from, and what exactly it is that you do.
What's good with it, y'all? My name is Nunnz, N-U-N-N-Z. I'm a Frisco, San Francisco artist. I do music, I do designs, and um, basically I do entertainment. And yeah, from San Francisco.
All right, so you were born in San Francisco?
Yep, I was born in San Francisco, grew up in Sacramento, came back to the Bay Area when I was like 13, 14, and I like to say I was born in Frisco, grew up in Sacramento, but I was raised in Richmond, because that's where, 13 and up, that's where I learned how to be a man and shit, so.
Okay. So when you were in San Francisco, you were living with moms and dad, or who were you living with?
I was living with Pops and my stepmom.
Okay. And where was your mom at?
She was somewhere in California.
Okay, so she just wasn't around.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you moved to Sacramento, how old were you?
5 or 6.
Okay, so do you have any memories of being in San Francisco?
When I was younger, just minor ones, just getting in trouble and shit.
And what about when you're in Sacramento? What kind of things do you think of when you think of Sacramento?
I just think of the struggle that I went through and all the fun that I had to make out of it to make sure that I didn't get myself in trouble and just enjoy being out there.
Okay. And then you said when you got into your teenage years, you moved back to the Bay Area to Richmond.
Yeah, around like 13, 14 when I was a freshman, I moved to Richmond and spent most of my time in that area because the parents had a stable living and were able to change things for us growing up at that time.
And when you were growing up without your mom and you just had your dad, how did that feel? Because most people grow up with one parent, it's usually the moms. How was it like having pops around every day instead of, well, first of all, instead of having both parents, but usually if it's one parent, it's moms. How was it different for you?
Shit. Excuse me. I think about it now, and whoa, excuse me, I had some gas. I think about it now, and I guess the way he was raised, it trickled down to us because he was only male. He grew up without a father either. His dad died when he was like a baby, so he only grew up with a mom and 2 sisters. So he had to learn how to be a man himself. So teaching us how to be a man as well, without a woman, was sort of like, I don't know. It felt normal because he grew up the same way.
Right.
So he always had women around, and it was never really like a thing that I missed because I sort of knew at the time when she left the situation that it was in, that they were in, and how things went down, and just what was best for everything, including myself and my brothers and sisters.
Did you ever get back in contact with moms?
Yeah, actually she got in contact with us, but once she did,
Are things better now?
way better, yeah. Things are way better.
So you communicate with her now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, shout out to moms.
Shout out to moms, yeah.
Getting it together?
Yeah, I do appreciate her doing what she could to try to reach out to us, and I understood, the situation. Like I said, my dad didn't want her reaching out to us or knowing where we lived, but it's what a mother does, and
absolutely.
I love her still,
Absolutely, that's moms. All right, and what kind of kid were you growing up? Were you like the nerdy type? Were you like gang banging? Were you like in the streets? Were you a hustler? Did you like the girls? Were you an athlete? What was young Nunnz into as a child?
Shit, I was just that one kid that I was always the new one. I was always adapting to any situation because growing up in Sacramento, we never had a stable situation living, so we always moved, yearly. What is it, like 12 grades? I went to like 13, 14 schools.
In just 1 year?
Not in fucking my 12 years of going to school.
Oh, okay.
Type shit, so
yeah.
I was just a kid that was always new to it. I had to adapt to what was going on and having to make new friends and all that and just be myself. And to go with what your question was, I feel like I was more like I was more like the shy kid, but I try to be open, but it was hard to be accepted because no one knew who I was.
Right. So
So
when you're the new guy, you always got to stay on your toes because everybody else is staying on their toes about you. So I definitely feel that. So, and then what age were you when you started getting into music?
getting into music. So I'm not gonna count the writing phase, but getting into like writing music, probably like 12, 13, like end of beginning of like end of middle school, beginning of high school.
Okay, so going into high school, that's when the music bug hit you.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it about music that drew you to it?
Just the fun and being creative and just having competition with my boys.
Okay, so you were like in ciphers and little battle rap crews and stuff?
Sort of, yeah.
Or you guys would just stand around and get high and spit and shit?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. We just stand around, spit and get high.
Yeah.
And see who had the best flow and bars and shit.
So is it the type of thing where you guys are all standing around, getting high, drinking, whatever, just hanging out, and then busting rhymes, and then one of your boys is like, damn, that shit was tight? Or
Yeah.
how did you discover you were good at it, or it was something you liked?
Yeah, it was more later in my years that I was taking it a little more serious as far as like what I was writing about and what I was rapping type of beats over, and yeah, I would get a lot of oh shit, that shit was nice, that shit was raw, and I would say like when I was in my senior year, that's when it happened. But back in like the time when I started, it was more like I was always rapping the roast. So
Oh, you're one of those
yeah,
those cappers.
yeah, we'd always fucking joke at each other. So I always try to like make a rap to cap on them.
That's what's up.
So that's how I started. And like I said, moving around so much, when I moved to Richmond, I found more common people that like music and like rapping and stuff and producing and all that. So took it a little more serious and moved away from them, but still kept contact with them. But when I went to Job Corps, Job Corps is like a place to go get your trades and stuff, your school diploma and all that, and a bunch of people from everywhere, and just run into a bunch of people that like music as well, and you rap with them and they think it's raw. So that's when I was like, okay, this is something I might take some interest in. And
cool.
shit,
So speaking of Job Corps, what was it that made you go to Job Corps?
shit, my parents put me in there. But I found interest once I went to the orientation and seeing what they were gonna make and where it could take you.
And then so tell us about Job Corps. How was that, and how long was it?
It was cool because it gave me a sense of living on your own at a point when I was still a minor, 17 years old.
So you lived there?
So
So Job Corps is like a place where you go and you live there?
Treasure Island, yeah. It was like a campus type of vibe, and
What was the trade that you were studying?
plastering,
For like construction?
construction, building walls, and that type of stuff. They were working on the Bay Bridge too, so that type of that type of work with as far as like construction and building shit.
So what made you choose that?
For one, they were like one of the highest paid trades, and two, I like working with my hands, so easy pay.
That's what's up. So did you finish Job Corps?
Nah, I got terminated.
You got kicked out? What'd you do?
Smoking.
You got kicked out of Job Corps for smoking?
Yeah, like a dumbass. The first couple months, I was cool. I wasn't minding smoking, but one day, one of the people that I came in with said, "Hey, you wanna go smoke?" I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'm trying to go smoke. I haven't smoked in months."
Mm-hmm.
And we went to go smoke, and I was paranoid after smoking, but after that, I was like comfortable doing it like every day type shit. And one day, so this is crazy. I hope you don't see this, but shout out to Omar. I work with him now, and we talk about this shit all the time. But what happened was I became like a TA assistant to try to get a closer room to the front in this bigger room. So I tried to become one of them, and they had meetings every Monday. my dumb ass left the meeting early, went to go smoke. I didn't know when the meeting was over, so I came back and early, and I always remember I looked. There's a mirror walking down the hallway. There's a mirror, so I looked into the mirror, and he called me over here. He said, "Romero, come over here," and I walked over there, and he told me, like I said, years later, he told me that's how he knew I was high, because I looked down that mirror and kids looking there to see the eyes, like the red. So that's why I got kicked out, because of smoking. I got kicked out of smoking.
Okay, so you get kicked out from smoking. Were you doing music around that time still, or?
Not professionally, just writing down, spitting over beats in the hallways and shit.
Okay, so after Job Corps, what did you do after Job Corps?
Shit, just making money, just working and shit.
Just making it happen. Okay, that's what's up. So, hey, shout out to Job Corps.
Shout out to Job Corps. You know, they took care of their people and the students as well.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So let's get into this light a blunt. As you technically are lighting a blunt, but tell us about your vision and your movement, Light a Blunt, and what that's about.
So Light a Blunt for me is it's just a lifestyle. You know, it's smoking for one. That's the main thing, smoking and high. And then secondary is staying your highest self. Even if you don't smoke, stay your highest self. Make sure you're always, you know, high-minded and just doing, just being your best self. You know, better weed, better people, better conversations. You know, better environment. Just make sure you always stay your highest self, even if it's. Make sure you're at your highest self, even if you're at your lowest. So, you know, just make sure you know you're always up here, no matter where you at.
I could see that on the T-shirt. Even when you're low, stay high.
Yeah. Even when you're low, stay high. I like that.
Yeah, just remember you heard it here first from Mars Radio. So just send us our merch package and we're good to go.
Hey, I'm on Mars right now.
Yeah, that's
I'm on Mars right now, looking down.
There you go, man. Fourth planet from the sun. So, Light a Blunt, it's a lifestyle. And you guys got merch and stuff, right?
Yeah, I got I got this sweater. I got so I have two Friday 13th projects. I'm big on Jason Voorhees.
Okay.
So I have a Jason Voorhees Light a Blunt t-shirt that I make for Halloween. I have a Nike blunt with a flame at the end that shaped like a Nike sign saying "Just light it." And then which one? What else I got something else, but yeah, I got some gear.
That's what's up. And where can they reach out to you to get the gear?
On Instagram, look up Light a Blunt Apparel, and you'll see people wearing the shit and the shit that will be coming up and all that type of stuff, including, you know, a few, I try to keep it separate, but a few Nunnz projects that I got going on, since that's my brand. So
that's what's up. Now, let's get into what you got coming up for your music. Are you working on any new projects? You got anything releasing? What's going on with that? Videos? What's up?
Yes, sir. Shout out to DJ TNT for producing my next project coming out in April. It's called Cloud 420. 6 tracks. Just something you could all, something you could vibe to, roll up to and enjoy. You know, I try to just keep it simple, smooth, and not too like up tempo. I try to just keep it like I say, smoking a blunt. You just want to lay back and you don't want to be jumping around and shit.
So I was checking out some of your stuff and I get like a burner / Wiz Khalifa type vibe, right? Real mellow and chilled, Larry June, stuff like that. Would that be a good assessment of your music type of vibe you got?
That's what I feel like I formed into over the years. I've been just more mellow, because every session I go to, I'm hella hot. So fucking, I be half the time forgetting my lyrics and shit. But that's what I feel like I sort of formed into. But I still, keep it high feet, keep it lit.
Yeah.
Keep the Bay in me, let people know that where I'm from, So
absolutely.
And I actually try to, up tempo and chill is where I'm at. Up tempo and chill is where I'm at.
That's what's up. And so let's say that You got an unlimited budget for a music, a song, right? You got an unlimited budget, and you got a phone book of unlimited rappers. You can get anybody you want on a song, 3 verses and a hook, right? You're gonna be on one of the verses. It's your song. Who you putting on that?
So 3 other verses and an extra hook.
2 other verses and a hook, because you're gonna be on one of the verses.
Alright, so one of the verses, I have to get
And your hook or verses can be singers or rappers. It don't matter.
okay.
But they gotta be alive.
Alright, so yeah, on the spot I can't think of this, so I gotta just go out with what comes to mind. First verse would be from Wiz Khalifa.
Okay.
Second verse would be had to be Brennan. It had to be Brennan.
Okay.
And then for the hook, I'd have to go with first one comes to mind. First person that comes to mind is her.
Oh damn!
Cause I see her on commercials a lot. So
Bro, that's a good lineup right there.
That's a good hit on it.
I don't think you could miss with that one.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, that's a good one, bro. That's tight. What obviously is gonna be about being high, getting high. It's a weed song, right?
Yeah, it had to be about something about just getting money and or just doing what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Whether it is getting high or
Just call it "Make It Happen."
make it happen. Yeah, so make it happen. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so how can people reach you online if they want to book you for a show, if they want to get some merch, if they want a feature, if they're interested in following your movement? How can they reach out to you?
So I'm on Twitter and on Instagram under Nunnz 415. That's NUNZ 415. My email is on there as well, and then of course the Light Up Blend apparel. If you're ever just looking through merch and you want to tap in with a collaboration with the gear, you can hit me up on there too.
That's what's up. Well, thank you for stopping through to Mars Radio. We appreciate your time today. It's Mars Radio. It's Nunnz, and we're out.